Education is the first and biggest answer always. I mean, it's I'll point you to the toolkit that we created, which has a lot of these reasons why there's fear around data. I think in the most general form, it's around the capacity and literacy of officials in terms of data. And it's not to say with any arrogance or being accusatory. I think what's been very useful to find as we're part of this global community is that this situation exists in the US and in the UK and in Europe and in Asia and South America. We have these forums and groups we're part of where we all talk about the challenges with data. And it's no different in Canada as it is to South Africa, which is typically that government is under-resourced, that officials are typically over, as a result, have too much work to do. We've got to the point in South Africa where we've corporatized, I think, to our to a fault, and that means that many of our officials in their domains and subject matter expertise become project managers as opposed to implementers, and outsourcing government or development in a lot of ways, which I think is not very good. And I think that's led to an erosion of skills, and also it hasn't forced government departments to build capacity for implementation, and that typically has the specific skills around data. There are some and very significant exceptions to this in the work we do. We find a lot of areas where we're learning and we're kind of led by cities. But I think in general, if you want to generalize it, it's the fear comes up to lack of knowledge about what data can do or what's possible. Fear around, in the current state of government, it doesn't make sense to take risks. Government is typically not very happy with risk, and changing or innovating in terms of digital data or tech does take leadership and risk. I think leadership in cities is a huge thing. So where you find context of leaders that are able to see the future better, that have a better vision for the city, you typically find departments and people that are more comfortable with data. But I think there is a leadership crisis in many cities in the continent, in many cities in the country.